The title of the book came from Kharika's mantra when she was getting abused for having no sons. She had something like 6 daughters before she had any sons. And she used to go down to this little Himalayan temple by the side of the river and pray for 5 sons and 100 Muri of rice, which was really enough rice. Feed them all. He's now 90 and she's relatively wealthy. She owns rice fields, she microlends funds to other villages, and she has a reasonably substantial bank account. Despite being illiterate, she does all of her records and calculations with stones.
Now, Sharyn was the 5th son of Kharika, and he used to say to me, "Well, I come and sit down and listen to his mother." He said, "She's the most inspiring woman I know." And he said he found it was an absolute miracle to be born, because she gave birth to him at 49, and at that time, that was older than the average life expectancy of a woman. You know, she had a lot of hardship, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, children, deaths to malaria, poverty, domestic abuse. But it's also, I found it, a very inspiring story. Kharika, as Sharyn said, was illiterate, had very few opportunities, got left in a very difficult situation, but she was so strong, and despite her husband eventually leaving her with substantial debts, she found a way to work out her finances. She got very savvy, and she was very strong-willed. And she stood up to a lot of the authorities, she stood up to her husband, she stood up to a lot of the protocols and gender indoctrinations at the time, and got them to change the situation so that she could have land, she could provide for her family, and she could recover financially.
Some foreigners arrived at a nearby village, Ketu told the boys, with the intention of holding sanitation classes, teaching the villagers about toothbrushing and the use of soap and clean water. The lessons continued for 2 days and ended with a discussion on the methods of birth control. Why do they have the right to tell us how to control our babies? Abwa, it's a government initiative, Bishma explained. We've been learning about that in school. They want to control the birth rates. I looked at my son and felt proud of how educated and smart he sounded talking to his father. That's not the point, Ketu admonished. We have the right to live our life as we wish. He paused in another fit of coughing. Then he looked up at his son, saying, "These foreigners brought little balloons they call condoms, but the locals hang off every word about how these balloons can prevent unwanted pregnancies. The foreign educators put the condoms over bananas, saying it would prevent pregnancies. They left the villagers with packets of them. But even though the villagers put the condoms on the bananas, some women became pregnant. How on earth can covering bananas with rubber balloons stop a pregnancy? These people are mad." Seeing the earnest frustration on Ketu's face, I fought back by my urge to laugh at that story. Although I knew little of those worldly matters, my humble guess was that the rubber balloons were not intended for bananas.